drama on 4.
Somebody's got to be top dog.
Hercules, you're here at last. I have traveled many galaxies to save your planet from these Klargon warriors.
Hercules, what are we to do? We are but naught against these.
Here we go.
There is a much misunderstood youth subculture in Britain. Some people call them mods, but that's only part of the story. So let's just call it the 60s scene. This is a look at 4 characters on the London 60s scene.
Well, I think that the hat suits you. There we go. We had a guy once who had a stall opposite me, and he said, I like being opposite your stall because I like looking at all the good-looking women that go into your stall all day long. I thought, that's nice.
That's what I think, space age modernism. Psychedelic space age modernism.
What about the daily activities that you're involved in that are actually just 60s orientated? Can you just summarise what it is you actually do?
Well, you've seen the stalls, that's my mainstay. And I've now started doing a bit of DJing, so that's something else that kind of keeps me in, keeps space, as they say. Keeps the candle burning. Yeah.
And that's nice, but that's too big for you, but nice Jaeger with trousers.
So Casper, how long have you been doing this stall for?
About 4 years. About 4 years. It wasn't always this size. It used to be a lot smaller. I used to just have a single one, but I had too much stuff. I'm a compulsive buyer. I can't stop expanding. So I just thought, I've got to expand.
You get people from all over the world coming here.
Yeah, we do. We get, especially in the summertime, we get a lot of the Europeans over here because they come over for the Isle of Wight. So we get a lot of Italians and Germans and Spanish, all like 60s mods.
Japanese as well?
Yeah, we get a lot of Japanese all the time.
This is just like basically a limited pressing of 500. This is my girlfriend on the front cover, my goddess. There she is. And inside, sort of devised a sort of gatefold idea that you would have on like these old albums, but it's not being done in that way. It's just one piece of card.
Maybe you should put some guitar on there.
Yeah, I mean it could almost use some sort of droney type thing, couldn't it, really?
What, you mean like my voice?
Pan, kinetic, oh pan, waves of energy, the clashes of copulation are the children of phenomena at play in the eternal. That can never end which never began. And surely he could not withstand at all the thought that all things happen at once and in one time, and that there is no barrier, there is no wall, there is no line.
DJ, yeah, club called Hustling, and yeah, at the Madame Jojo. Yeah,
Are you doing any bands as well?
Yeah, band called Funky Monkey and the Masters of None. Remember that? That's good.
What sort of music?
like this.
What sort of music are you making in that band?
All the funky, up-tempo song. Move your feet, move your arms, and every that you can enjoy.
You wouldn't consider yourself to be a mod as such, would you?
No.
No. Do you bother putting a label on yourself, or could you generally classify what sort of element you're into in the 60s?
Again, you know, it falls into the psychedelic tag, I think. If anywhere, you know, that's kind of where it goes.
Yeah, mod. Or I don't like only mod. And sometimes I like, yeah, everything. But almost the 60s until early 70s.
Oh no, you can't be a mod if you're wearing 70s clothes. Well, who says you can't be? You know, do I have to dress in 60s clothes because I like 60s music? No. You know, I want to dress. More and more people are trying to get away from that, and kind of. I mean, I wear a mixture, so my wardrobe is not 100% 60s. I might wear, you know, some early 70s stuff because it still has that 60s, you know, flavour. So suits and the cut of trousers, like sort of boot cuts.
The New Untouchables is a group of people that got on events and put together a newsletter for mods and 60s fanatics, sort of throughout the world. It's a forum for communication for all those people. Jason's Rob. We put on weekenders in this country, but also in Europe, and we've done one in America. And the newsletter which comes out bi-monthly, is a communication for those events and clubs in different countries or different towns and gigs, all manner of things. Bye. Yeah, I do one of these a year, which is basically a compilation sort of tape of things that I've been playing, DJing with down at the clubs or at the events and what have you. I try to flog them. To unsuspecting poor folk. Fucking hell.
Was that not you, though?
Not good, mate. You got any petrol in it? You got any petrol in it?
The traditional love of Vespas and Lambrettas by mods has continued, but now, instead of getting the latest ones, it is the rare 50s, 60s and 70s models that are the most sought after.
Ah, shit. Let's all have a go.
There won't be a
reprisal.
It's time to go. Welcome by is final. A renaissance is due, and there's nothing to stop you in this flow. Well, I have seen you rambling on, but I'll still.
How long have you been in the 60s, style 60s music for?
I'd say about 15 years or so. I mean, it's always been a part of my growing up. I suppose the music in particular. The Beatles are probably my favourite group. I'll never grow tired of them. When I came to London, this friend of my sister said, "Oh, have you ever listened to Northern Soul?" I said, "No, what's that then?" And went to an all-nighter. The first one I ever went to was in Morecambe, and that was a real eye-opener. Very strange going there the first time, and then I kind of just got hooked. I really liked the whole atmosphere there.
Well, it's live, it's raw, you know, it's taking chances, it's pushing the boundaries out further than a lot of music does. And I tend to find that even music today, which apparently, you know, you hear reviewers saying it's cutting edge and different, I tend to find that things are kind of really just regurgitating everything that's ever been before. There's something about that particular style that occurred, you know, that particular style of music, that type of experimentation that occurred around 1966, 1967, which there really was something new. I mean, they were taking like basic rock and roll elements and then just totally distorting them and basically pushing them out into something completely
digging deeper into this stuff. And again, after a period of time there, listening to black music, again came back to listening to other more obscure white artists that were copying black records and styles. But over the last sort of 5-6 years, buying a lot of European stuff, whether it be Dutch or Spanish or German, who were again copying, and the white English acts like the Creation, the Sorrows, the Smoke and that, just for new sounds, you know.
Yeah, 60s music is better at the moment, because I love it. Good taste, isn't it? Pete Terrace, yeah, Shotgun, Lado Teens, White Life, and Enchantment, I'm in Love with Your Daughter, and Mr. Dynamite, Shimon, Small Face. No, The Who. Yeah, I respect Keith Moon a lot.
Which band's the best, The Who or Small Faces?
Of course, The Who. But all good. But yeah, if I have to choose a one person, my god is Keith Moon.
Keith Moon?
Yeah.
Why?
He's good.
As with music, there are various different 60s styles, from the early mod style, tight-fitting, tailored suits, short hair, to the later psychedelic style, long hair, flares, and lots of colour. Most people mix these mod and psychedelic styles together, sometimes also with items from the early 70s. Whatever the style, clothes are very important on this scene.
Which is quite sought after by people who like sort of mohair. So these are the proper, what they're called two-tone. There's another one, almost the same colour, but slightly different material, and slightly later because the wider the tail.
This is, if we look at the style here, seeing the two buttons, the two buttons are relatively out of fashion now for mods, aren't they?
Yeah.
As you're saying, it was worn in the 60s itself.
Oh yeah, it was. But most people always think of traditional mod suits, 3 buttons or even 4 buttons, or even 5 buttons if you want to go over the top. As many pockets as you want, really.
Side vent, centre vent.
Yeah, side vent, yeah. Ooh, 10 inch, 3/4 inch.
16-inch bottoms maximum.
Yeah. You got buttons on there? You want to be? You know?
I think it's that, Charlie.
Yeah. Oh dear. Why are you ready? Short the sleeves, they're not a bloody gorilla.
When did you first get into 60s style?
Well, I mean, it's not so much that I actually got into 60s style, it's sort of the style came later. First I kind of got into the music when I was pretty young, really, because like my parents had quite a few albums from that time. If I dress in any way retro, you know, it's simply because of the fact that I just feel comfortable, kind of like I gravitate towards that. And I don't try to be kind of like too retro. You know, sometimes I'll wear like sort of, I don't know, like some kind of Vietnam jumpsuit or something like that, you know, and walk around in that for a while when it's cold.
There you go, nice original John Stephen, Carnaby Street.
Oh, brilliant! Fantastic!
Yeah.
Definitely suit for me, isn't it?
Oh, definitely you.
How is the size?
It's about your size, small.
Is that original?
Yeah. Original, yeah, Carnaby Street.
Yeah.
Original Carnaby Street.
Excellent. How much is that?
£10 for you.
Yeah? Oh, I buy that.
Yeah, okay.
Brilliant.
Cool. Do you want a bag or are you okay?
No worries. Yeah.
Marvellous. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, not bad. They're a bit big though.
Yeah,
come out
such
here.
a nice trousers, isn't it?
Yeah, come out here. What about those?
I love shoes. Like 30 pairs of those things. They're pucker. They're absolutely spot on. I got them from you know, the guitarist from the Clique, John Paul. That was he couldn't get his plates into him anymore, so it's another favour of mine. That's quite nice. Beachy type thing. It's a real one, First World War one, that.
Why do you have this hair? I mean, you have your haircut is kind of like more or less mid-late 60s, kind of general.
It's right nice.
Just kind of I let my hair grow long. It's kind of going a bit Brian Jones at the moment. But I actually used to have my hair very similar to this when I was about 15 years old, because I hated having short hair.
When did you get your hair done?
That's my natural hair.
Is it?
Yeah, but I listening to black music. Then, yeah, naturally, yeah, became like
So
this.
did it? Is that what happened? Finger in the socket job?
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden, high street fashions and new, you know, the bands that were coming through were, you know, obviously looking back to that period and were heavily influenced by it. And suddenly, you know, CNAs were having reasonably well-cut three-button suits that you could get off the peg or what have you. I hate to dread, not that I ever bought one, but you know, suddenly 60s fashion or style or what have you was accessible again in the high street. So it opened it up to a whole new generation of people, and subsequently because of that, I didn't look so strange as I had done. So it was possibly the first time I've been fashionable ever, semi-fashionable. Strange, very strange.
The London 60s scene is very international. In a typical 60s club, you might get people from Japan, Sweden, Italy, France, America, as well as people from all over the UK.
What did you just say? Oh, yeah, that's very so nice, and yeah, that's so nice, but not that good.
You're influenced by people like Aleister Crowley, and
well, no, I mean the thing is like Crowley is an interesting reference because due to the simple fact that he gets you to challenge any single idea that comes your way.
do you feel that you're interested in magic and people like Crowley and others like Timothy Leary and etc., that your interest in them and your interest in 60s style of music are compatible aspects?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, even Syd Barrett was well into the sort of Kabbalistic tradition and things like that. I mean, certainly you would write songs based upon the I Ching, you know, and things like that on Clank at the Gates of Dawn. And it does actually lend an interesting angle to the musical process as well, on a creative level and as it's presented to the public.
One thing that most outside observers don't realise is that the 60s scene is continually evolving. Various 60s and early 70s styles and music are predominant at different times. But strangely enough, the 60s scene does often assimilate elements from within wider youth culture, while remaining very much outside it, self-contained.
What sort of music do you play in Rondeau?
Well, really sort of across the border really, you know, from funk, soul, jazz, fusion, you know, some late 60s rock, you know, basically anything that's good really, you know, no matter what year it's from, good music is good music. I'm definitely comfortable with the word mod, but it's what your stigma goes with it, you know, I live for today, not yesterday, you know, so I take great offence at sort of your 60s, you know what I mean? I wasn't ever there, so, you know.
Everybody has, you know, the music or whatever it is, you know, even people nowadays, you latch onto something. It's like you're either into house music or you're into garage or you're into something, and there's always a lifestyle that goes with that particular scene that you're into.
Yeah, I mean, I just tend to think that if you've got sort of like, in any way, a kind of like renegade kind of aspect to your life anyhow, you know, you tend to sort of get into renegade things, don't you? And where I came from, up north, it was, you know, it was that way, to get into psychedelic music and into these kind of obscure things seemed very against what everyone else was doing at the time.
No one's ever been violent. More so, I kind of get, you get the joke comments like, oh, Austin Powers, oh, look, it's Austin Powers. But I've had people
better, isn't it?
say, make comments about me.
I'll show you in the mirror, so you can choose yourself.
I don't care.
You don't care what they think?
Yeah.
Some people in the street were quite hostile towards anything that's probably a bit different, whether it be mods or hippies, skinheads, punks or whatever they are.
People do kind of like check you out and kind of stare and think you're a bit of a weirdo.
Because I was wearing a pink tie and a pink shirt. This guy said to me, he said, "Oi, mate." I said, "What?" He said, "Are you queer?" And I said, "No." He said, "Because you look like you are." and I said, "Yeah, well, so what does that mean then?" He said, yeah. And he said to the guy behind the counter, "Watch out, he'll have your bum for a fiver." I said, "I'm not that cheap, mate, come on." But
it never ever made me feel like, oh Christ, I want to pack this all in. In fact, it made me even more sort of focused on what I wanted to do. In fact.
Yeah.
You've forgotten.
No, I don't forget. Just to sound, but I've been smoking too much, but no, it's great.
There are a huge amount of new bands around, playing music heavily influenced by 60s stuff. Some are straight copyists of original 60s music. Others take it as their reference point for creating more contemporary sounds.
How do you think the 60s will influence your life in 5-10 years from now?
That's very good. That's a difficult question. I don't know. Hopefully, it will influence further my career. Because I'd like to get into the clothing side of things a lot more. Because I've just since doing the market and just suddenly getting a real passion for clothes, not just for wearing clothes, but just the way things are made.
Well, interestingly enough, I've already started moving into a new phase, kind of musically, using things like quite archaic electronic instruments, really, sometimes in some of the recordings. And that's like really nice, but it is slowly moving into another direction.
Mod will keep reinventing itself. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to not listen to contemporary stuff from now, but it doesn't mean that you have to, because we're still finding new tunes from the 60s that the original mods would never have heard back then.
Do you think you will still be into 60s music in the future? 5, 10
Yeah,
years?
I think so, yeah. Or 50 years, 100 years. Yeah.
Because you live forever, right?
Yeah.
Will people be into the 60s in 20 years' time? Probably. Good music is good music. It will always appeal. And the style? Well, it's a matter of taste. Personally, I love it.
Well, if you want to get into the music business, then check out channel4.com/ID.